but thrive, man. Hey, today, special episode, man. I got my guy sitting in the passenger seats right next to me. My guy, Miguel Lucky. YouTube influencer, foodie, vlogger, hooper, and priest.
Yeah, priest.
No, he's a pastor. Y'all. He's a pastor, man of God, and a really good friend of mine. So
yes.
Please welcome my guy, Mr. Miguel Lucky.
Man,
appreciate you coming on board.
Appreciate you, my brother.
Hey, real quick, just I know I broke it down a little bit for the people, but for the viewers, man, just tell them a little bit about yourself, bro.
A little bit about me, man. I like long walks on the beach. Manhattan Beach, I prefer.
There you go.
But a little bit about me. I played college ball. I'm originally from Philly. Reached a certain level, and now I'm doing some pastoral work. And I picked up food vlogging as a hobby, which is pretty good for me, but also for my audience as well. But like I said, like Ivan said, I've been knowing him forever, and he's just an amazing, powerful, sweet soul on this planet. If anybody knows him, you don't grow to love him, you just love him. And he has a very high basketball IQ, so that's why we're on the show, to listen to him.
Oh, okay. Appreciate it.
It's all love, brother.
Hey, man, we gonna get right into it, man.
Let's do it.
We're gonna get straight to it. Usually people go top 3 NBA players of all time. But see, I feel like the third one's like a scapegoat, right?
It is.
Like people sneak that third one in so they don't leave them off. But we gonna get right into it, man. We going top 2.
Top 2?
We going top 2 NBA players of all time. Top 2. So you can't. You gotta
yours
leave
or mine?
Yours.
Mine.
And I'll give you mine too. I'll give you mine. But you got the 2 because you gotta leave somebody out.
I ain't trying to leave nobody out, but I will.
There we go.
Top 2. I would have to say
In order too. So
in order.
So 1 and 2.
I'm biased. I gotta do it. I love Kobe. I'm gonna go with Jordan. Number 1. Kobe, like somewhere, and then I'm gonna have to say Kevin Durant. I have to say Kevin Durant because the fact that he missed 2 seasons, they don't talk about that. But he's able to do what he's doing at a high level, even to have the frame that he has and still be able to compete. It's just on another level. I'm not saying this because I know him. I'm not saying this. I just think he's a hooper. That's my top 2. Yeah, that's my top 2.
See, the top 2 makes it hard because you gotta leave somebody out.
Gotta leave somebody out.
Man, I like the KD.
Who is your top 2?
KD answer. My top 2. So I have a 1A and 1B.
No Diddy.
No Diddy. So I have a 1A and a 1B.
Okay.
So but we'll just go 1 and 2.
Explain that though. I like to hear that.
So
your 1A, because I feel like we're on the same page.
So 1A Mike, 1B Cole.
100%.
So reasoning for that, and I don't get why people leave Kobe out of this debate so often.
I don't.
And they say, they'll leave him off the debate. They say Mike and LeBron, but in the same breath they'll say, but Kobe was just like Mike. And it's like, wait, well, then how is he not number 2 or a 1B type of deal, So for me, the closest thing we've ever seen to Mike is Cole.
There you go.
So for me, to me, Mike and Kobe are in their own world. They're in their own category. So that's why I have them 1A, 1B. To be honest with you, everything after that is kind of like, you know, whatever. Like, if you want to put Bron there, if you want to put Magic, Kareem, whoever you want to put, I'd probably put Magic.
You grew up seeing them too, right?
I grew up seeing them, you know.
Right here at the Forum. Literally, literally down the street. Yeah, exactly.
And so the way Magic, and like people talk about Bron impacting winning, I think Magic was the first to do that. Coming out of college, he beat, you know, he won the national championship at Michigan State. Turned right around his rookie year and won the NBA championship. That's you know, I think people take winning for granted, and when you play, because I've had really good seasons and I've had really bad seasons, and the really bad seasons they've helped me understand how difficult it was to actually win.
Right. It's
not easy winning. And, you know, guys like Magic and Kobe and Mike, they make it look very easy. But in all actuality, it's difficult, it's hard. And not to just win once, but I mean, over and over and over and over again, and not get complacent. You know, still keep that passion for it.
Right.
Still keep that hunger, still keep that will and desire to win. I think that's a special thing. And I think that's a talent all in itself.
Right.
So those are my top two, and you know, I hold Kobe and Mike in such high regard because you have LeBron, right? So the GOAT debate, in my opinion, shouldn't even be a debate. It should be LeBron James, and it shouldn't even be close. It should be Bron and who else ever is fighting for second place. You got a kid 6'9", 260 who was ready to go to the NBA as a sophomore in high school.
Right.
You could have threw him in the NBA as a sophomore in the high school, and he would have been fine.
Right.
Just because of his God-given physicality and his physical build, right?
And he was chosen.
You know, and I mean, he wasn't the most skilled player, you know, in high school, but physically, he was just ready to compete on that type of level. And that's still what he's doing today. He's bullying people, you know what I mean, as a 40-year-old man.
How long do you think he can go for? Another 2? Another 5?
It's hard
Another
to
5?
say. I mean, at this type of level, I would say about 3 more years. But like, he was born to do this. You know, physically, he was born to do this. If you walk past him and you see LeBron James and you didn't know who he was, right, you'd be like, oh, he's somebody.
I saw him one time in person when he was on the Cavs.
Yeah.
And I was at this little lounge, and I was like, turned around and I was like looking up. I'm like, this dude is, my shoulders is crazy. I'm like, yeah, he's born to do this.
But see, that's why I hold Kobe and them and Mike, because if you look at Mike and Kobe, like really all of 6'5", they're listed at 6'6", but you know, probably closer to 6'5"-ish. You know, nowhere near as physically imposing as Bron, and yet and still they're in these conversations.
Right.
So for me, I'm just like, for what Mike and Kobe were able to squeeze out of those like very, very average physical frames, I just respect that so much. You know, and they still won at a high clip. You know, Mike went 6-0, Kobe 5-2. I believe, 5-2 in the finals. I think, like I said, I'm just so impressed at what Kobe and Mike were able to, the talent they were able to just drench out of themselves. You know, I kind of look at it so. You have a towel, right? It's soaked, right? The water you're squeezing out is your potential, right?
Yeah.
No Diddy. So and the water you're squeezing out is your potential, right? So Bron got to a point where it felt like it was dry, right? Mike and Kobe got to that same point where they felt like it was dry, but they figured out how to get they figured out how to get even more potential out of that soaking wet towel until it was like bone dry. I feel like there's still water on LeBron's towel. No. So I feel like there's still.
How do you know that?
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like there's still potential, and
so the towel's still wet,
right? Yeah, and he's going to leave with the towel a little slightly wet, you know. Whereas in Mike and Kobe's towel there's no more you can squeeze out of there. There's no more potential. So that's kind of how I look at, you know, Mike and Kobe and that whole comparison, LeBron, and
that's a beautiful thought, man. I like that.
So I think that's why not all, but a lot of basketball players look at Kobe and Mike with such high regard.
Right.
They weren't the biggest, they weren't the most athletic. But they squeezed all the potential basically out of them, out of their very unimpressive frames. So,
I like that.
That's kind of my 1A, 1B.
That's I've never heard it explained like that. That's pretty good.
Yeah. So I put a lot of thought into this.
See, I told you.
You know what I'm saying?
His towel's still wet.
His towel, yeah. You know what I'm saying? I left water in my towel. My towel's still.
Wow.
Hey, real quick, dude. So, the Lakers went on like a little bit of a run recently. They've been playing pretty well. But their two most impressive victories this season came without LeBron James. So they beat Boston in Boston,
which are contenders.
Yeah, very much so. And obviously we all know that's a rival game, a huge rival game.
Yep.
You know, D'Angelo Russell, I think, had 30 in that game. He led the team in scoring. AD didn't play. Austin Reeves was hooping. Rui was hooping. So all the young dudes got a chance to get out there and really open up. Then they came back.
Teacher wasn't there, so
right.
Substitute teacher.
Yeah.
Yeah, we gonna act up.
Then they came back home and beat Milwaukee without Bron. So real quick, are the Lakers a better team without LeBron James?
I'm gonna say no. I think they need him, but also I think they need that type of experience to play without him. It builds their confidence. It takes their mindset, their structure, their heart set to a whole nother level without him playing. So when it comes time for playoffs, and they're in those type of environments, they're thinking, their wheels are turning on a different level without him there or with him there, because you never know, right? But I think teams need LeBron. You know, if you got LeBron, he ain't sitting on the bench unless you just don't want to play.
No, for sure. I say no too.
Yeah.
But I think Bron needs to, kind of like you said, you need to be out there, obviously, but you should not be the leading scorer. Allow these young dudes to really get loose out there.
Right,
really open up, really start to feel themselves and get confident and really go out there and just prove what they can do.
Right.
And get their confidence up for the postseason.
Yep.
Now we're in the postseason. Now all of a sudden, Bron, it's not just you and AD, but now D'Lo's in a rhythm, Austin Reeves is in a rhythm, Taurean Prince in a rhythm, Rui's in a rhythm. So now I got help.
Right.
Now it's not totally on me. Now everybody's feeling themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's super confident, and I feel like that's how you need to go into the postseason. You know, I think, like I said, I think he just obviously they're not a better team without LeBron James. I just think he needs to kind of play the background a little bit during the regular season, and kind of figure out how he can gas these dudes up.
Right.
You know, to the point where now their confidence is like off the chart, and they're helping you out instead of you carrying so much of the load. You know.
Are you trying to get that 40 G's?
Well, you already got 40.
Oh, yeah.
But he's trying to stack. He's trying to stack some stats right now. But yeah, I would say they're not better without LeBron James. I just think he needs to take a smaller role and start really instilling confidence in these young guys. You know.
No, that's powerful.
But yeah, I think they'll be fine. I don't think they're a championship team. You know what's crazy? Their roster is good. They're deep, but I think it's just too many teams out there, man. Too many young guys out there too. That's killers. You know.
You know what's crazy? I heard LeBron in an interview. You saw the interview with JJ Redick?
Yeah,
it was pretty good. But
that's their new podcast.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's a whole podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I heard him saying that when he gets his team, LeBron, that he was speaking about young guys, that he was going to hire the front office that's drafting for them, because OKC does an amazing job of drafting young players. He said LeBron, that's what he said. He says, when I get my team, I'm gonna hire them.
OKC.
OKC staff, yep.
OKC has one of the best front offices in the game.
Yep.
Ever since they proved that with when they drafted Russ, James,
yep, Ibaka,
KD, you know,
Serge, right?
Serge was there. You know, so they've been doing this. You know,
making it to the Western Conference Finals.
Right.
Man.
As young guys.
As young dudes too. People don't give them enough credit, man.
Hey, so the other night, Wemby and Bobo faced off.
Bobo, I love Bobo.
I mess with Bobo. And I was one of the ones who was like, hey, you know what? Wemby is getting all this credit. That's cool. He's getting all this hype. But let's not act like we haven't seen this before.
Right.
We Bobo is right there, and for whatever reason,
his name is wild.
Bobo. I'm not naming my kids Bo, but
oh man.
But yeah, Bobo. But
yo, that name is wild.
So yeah, so they faced off a couple nights ago. They have very similar stats, very similar minutes. And my thing is, you know, I get it. The NBA picks their stars. They pick who they want to kind of ride. You know, for lack of a better term. You know what I mean? So, but they pick who they want to push. You know, and Wemby is just one of these dudes that they've chosen to push.
Right.
My thing is, So when they faced off, they both had. I think Bo
13.
Bo,
They both
Bo,
had 13.
Yeah, Bo had 19 minutes,
19 minutes.
13 points. Wemby had like 21 minutes, 13 points. Very similar lines, very similar stat lines.
But Wemby has his team with no stars.
Yeah, for sure.
Bobo did that with Book, right?
And KD.
Did Brad play?
Yeah, Bradley Beal played also.
So he did that with stars.
Yeah.
All stars, right? Wemby did that with no all stars.
By himself. Yeah. So that's been the thing with me with this whole Wemby thing was we've seen this. Let's stop acting like we've never seen this before.
Right.
Bobo is just as skilled. He's just as talented. For whatever reason, I'm not inside that circle, but for whatever reason, he just can't get on the court. You know. But every time he's actually on the court, he's very productive.
He's a bucket.
So, I never bought into the hype where Wemby was just heads and shoulders over, all the 7-footers, including Chet Holmgren and Bobo. I never bought into that kind of narrative. And it's kind of showing, when they go head up with each other.
What's that mean? Let him cook.
Yeah.
They just let him.
Let him go. I mean, you got a 7'3" dude on your bench. Like, let that kid rock. Man.
I would love to see them play 1-on-1. Bobo and Wemby 1-on-1.
That's why the All-Star game, man. You need to do King of the Hill.
That'd be dope.
Do King of the Hill. Let everybody take that fade.
Right.
Whatever. You gotta let it happen, man. But I don't see much difference, if any difference, between the two. I think they're both very talented. I hope whatever is holding Bobo back, he figures out so that he can get out there and showcase his ability.
I think he's gonna be all right. If he stays healthy, I think he's gonna be all right because you got Bobo with a mentor like KD. You got Book. You got Brad there, and just to be in the gym and for him to kind of just rap his, they're gonna teach him how to be a professional. They're gonna talk to him about how to achieve certain levels that he actually wants to achieve. Right. So it's a beautiful thing.
Nah, it is. I think they'll both be successful. They'll both be all right. Moving on, man. So March Madness is here. The women's side is getting a lot of push, a lot of hype, which is amazing. I love it.
Yeah.
Hey, kudos to them.
Yeah.
This is what I don't like, though.
You like Caitlyn Jenner? What's her name?
I like Caitlyn.
What's her name?
Nah, Caitlyn Clark.
Caitlyn Clark.
Caitlyn Jenner's wild. Caitlyn Jenner's out of control.
I think Caitlyn Jenner. I think she could hoop. He could hoop.
No, she. Nah. You know what, Caitlyn. Now you got me. Now you got me saying it. Caitlyn Clark. Caitlyn Clark is tough, right?
Right.
My thing, so they're trying. I don't like when people start trying to compare. Now you're trying to compare them, because essentially they're saying, Andrea Carter came on ESPN, and she said if she wins the national championship, she'll be the greatest college player of all time.
Why she can't be there now?
Boys or girls.
Oh, she wildin'.
Right? So let's call a spade, man.
She wildin'.
Let's please allow people to shine in their own field, in their own category, and allow them to be great there, right?
Yo, women are taking over.
Please stop comparing women to men to women. Allow allow Caitlin Clark to be great in her own field, in her chosen field.
I know Caitlin. What her name is? Clark. Miss Clark. I know she probably like. I don't even know why she said that.
Dude, because so my thing is this. To me, she's dope. She can hoop.
She can hoop. She can.
But to me, the best girls player out there right now is a freshman on the West Coast in LA at USC, Miss Juju Watkins. To me, she is the best player in the country right now.
Poise. Can do that all over.
Can score the ball. She can shoot. She can get to the bucket. There's nothing you could do with her.
Right.
Caitlin's kind of like I'm shooting the ball from half court, and that's about it. You know, Juju as a freshman, she's averaging 27.
You think she'll stay?
She has to. So they have to do at least. They have to do, I think, all 4.
Really?
They have to do all 4. And if I was the WNBA,
I'll lift
she's the type. Yeah, she's the type. You need her now.
Yeah.
Like you need her today.
Yeah.
So I would probably change those rules if I were.
And cash out.
Yeah, and you gotta cash her out because
cash her out.
These NIL, she's making a ton.
Yeah.
She's making more money than she would in the WNBA.
I think that will take the women's WNBA to a whole nother level if they take that restriction off.
Yeah.
And start cashing out.
But the thing about the cashing is I have to be making money to offer you, my employee, that money.
Man, they better sign a deal.
So
CBS.
they gotta figure that out, and we'll talk about that later. But they gotta figure out how to bring that revenue in. But yeah, so I just don't like how this. It's unrealistic and it's unfair to people like Caitlin Clark, to compare her to the men's side.
Right.
It's not fair. So real quick, which kind of brought up the question for me: who's the best college player you've ever seen?
I was just watching highlights of what's the name from BYU.
Jimmer?
Yes.
Jimmer Fredette. Yeah, he was great.
Cold, bro. College.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's what we talking about, college.
Oh
so we'll keep it to
gosh.
college, you know.
He was like just cooking. Like I liked Ray Allen. I like Ray Allen and
yeah, Ray's tough. Yeah, UConn.
Yeah, UConn. They made me fall in love with basketball.
Yeah.
Jordan, I didn't really get to see him play, but I did as I grew to love the sport. I went back and dug up some of his footage. Yeah, man, I would have to say personally, I really like the dude from BYU.
Yeah.
I love KD in Texas because I felt like he was just raw. You didn't really see something like that.
I think those are good picks, man. Jimmer killed in college, man. He did his thing. I think it's so many, right, that it's hard to come down to one. Like for me,
who's for you? Yeah,
I didn't catch Mike like that in college. Melo was ridiculous in college.
And he won.
Melo was ridiculous, and he won a chip. And if you really look at it, who did he have? The only pro on his team was Hakeem Warwick.
Hakeem from Philly. We played against him at AAU. And dunked on us from the free throw line.
Yeah, and so you really have to say he carried that team as a freshman. What y'all saying as a young bull?
As a young bull.
You know what I'm saying? So he carried that team, you know? So in my opinion, he's probably the greatest college player I've seen. Now I have my favorites. I love Barron at UCLA.
Oh yeah, Barron.
Love Barron at UCLA.
That's when he had the knee brace.
The thick knee brace. Mike Beasley was tough.
Oh, Mike Beasley. Yeah.
Mike Beasley was. I think he averaged like 25 and 13 as a freshman. He was way too
I heard
much.
Mike Beasley was cooking LeBron in Miami in them practices, but yeah, keep going.
Yeah, he was way too much for anybody in college. So yeah, for me, I would say, I would probably say the greatest college player I've seen is Melo, because he averaged 20 and I think 10 as a freshman, and he led his group. He led his team to a chip.
Yeah.
So I think you got to give him that.
That's a great answer.
I think Steph is up there too. Real quick, so a question that's kind of floating around right now, debate, the most influential basketball player of all time. Who you got? Most influential.
Of all time?
All time.
I would have to say AI. And the reason why I say AI is because AI ends up influencing LeBron, ends up influencing Steph, and ends up influencing the rest of the basketball players that we see now. And that's not just in tattoos, but in crossovers and different things like that. And they kind of just expanded or were just built on what he had. I mean, you can go Kobe, you can go LeBron, Steph, but from the root of it, I think it jump started with AI.
Yeah. You know what, that question has come up, and for me, right? For me, there's no right answer other than Mike Jordan.
Mike, of course.
So, and I say that because you got a dude who hasn't laced them up since 2003.
Right.
You have 10-year-old boys and girls who were born 10 years after his last game, never got to see this man play.
Right.
Begging their parents for Jordans. You have a brand that has the whole world in a chokehold.
Right.
And literally since he came out in like 86.
I was looking at influence in a different way.
Even basketball wise, right?
Yeah,
like,
basketball wise.
Even basketball wise, right? We grew up on the Gatorade, I wanna be. Everybody was sticking their tongue out.
Yeah.
You had dudes that could grow hair,
Space Jam,
shaving all their hair off. You know, you had dudes wearing. I know for me, when I was a kid, I was wearing the thick socks, like kind of like ankle socks because of Mike. You know, so his influence, even on the court, like, I don't think it's close. Like, I think AI had a run, right, where, you know, dudes were getting braids and wearing headbands and sleeves, but Mike's the only player that has stood the test of time.
Right.
He like I said, he won his last chip in '98.
Right.
So more than 25 years ago, right? And he's the constant in this GOAT conversation.
If you don't play basketball, you still know who Mike is.
Right. And that in itself, you know, so, you know, Wilt is gone. Nobody thinks about him anymore. Nobody necessarily talks about Kareem. Nobody necessarily talks about Bill Russell. Mike is the only constant that people still talk about, and this man hasn't played in 20 plus years.
That's wild.
So, and then you want to talk about global effect. Like, and I mean, the way Nike and Gatorade pushed him,
right?
It was because, and I saw somewhere Paul Pierce was saying Nike made LeBron, and I disagree. I think it's the other way around.
Sebastian.
Huh?
Sebastian said something like that too.
Oh yeah. I think he was talking about their push.
Yeah.
But I think it's the other way around because Nike was nobody knew Nike.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody knew Nike until they put those shoes on Mike Jordan.
Right.
And that's when Nike blew.
Right.
You know. So, and the man's worth $3 billion. We never see this dude. He comes out with this dude. He comes out with his original shoes in weird colors, and we're still paying $300 for a shoe that he made in '85.
That's crazy. That's wild.
Like, how many Reebok questions are we buying? You know what I'm saying?
You got the red. That's how much you love Mike. Look.
You know? So, I mean, and they stay in the car. You know? But, again, man, like, I don't think it's close.
Right.
I think the next person, the next athlete with the biggest influence is Steph.
Yeah.
Steph
took it to a whole other level.
Yeah, Steph literally changed how people perceive a good and bad shot.
Yeah.
Now he's made it okay for people to come in there and one step past the half-court line and let that thing go. So I think, and then I think you could get into the AIs and the Kobe's. Mm-hmm. But those two, Mike and Steph, have had an impact on the game that's, in my opinion, unmatched. Because they both left things that will last a lifetime.
Right.
The shot selection, the shoes, AI, his time came and went, kind of. You know what I mean? Like, you don't see the baggy shorts anymore. You don't see the, you don't see as many
the braids.
Yeah, but not as like
tats.
Yeah.
Because Stephen, what's his name? Clean.
But the thing is, for me, is you'll always have this shot selection. Steph turned it into a guard's game.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Before we were kind of throwing it into the post first and then figuring it out after that. You know, but now it's like, you know, big guys move out the way and maybe get the rebound and set a couple screens.
Well, you got 6'8" dude. LeBron just pulled up from like the logo on PJ Tucker. Just pulled up. And I'm like, dang, he's 4 feet back. And I'm like, wow.
And it's and it's one of those things where Steph is more relatable. He's 6'3", small. So a little kid can realistically look at him and say, oh, I could do that. I can't be 6'9" if it's not in the cards for me.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I could be 6'3" and pull from half and have handles and do stuff like that. So yeah, to me, it's Mike, hands down. His impact will last forever.
Yeah, I think it's
what he did. He literally changed the basketball landscape. He changed the game, and he still has his footprint.
Yep.
And his brand has, like I said, a chokehold on the world of basketball. So yeah, man.
I want to ask you a question.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you my answer right now. MVP 2024. This year, Anthony Edwards. What are your thoughts?
I think that's a good selection. Are they still number one right now?
That's a good question.
In the West, if they're number one and they go into,
they don't have Cat.
Yeah.
He's literally carrying them.
Yeah.
Now he's got a great group around him. But I think he's favored to win the MVP.
So right now they're in third. They're like a game back. But
who's before them?
OKC and Denver. So you know what? I think that's a good choice, and I think that's a very strong possibility, because like you said, they don't have Cat, they don't have Rudy Gobert, and he's literally leading them as a young guy too.
26.
You could say Jokic, but Jokic has a full squad.
Right.
They look really good right now. You can say Shea, but again, he has a full squad. Ant obviously Ant hasn't been doing it by himself all year, but Cat's been missing the last couple weeks with meniscus, and I don't know if he'll be back during the regular season, but Ant, that's a good pick. I wouldn't be mad at all. I wouldn't be mad at all.
Because in the moments where everybody's like, oh, well, we'll see what he can do, he doesn't. Well, he's doing it. 26, close to 27 points.
Yeah.
Now he's shooting close to your field goal percentage is about 50%. I mean, you got the assists, you got the rebounds, you got the highlights. I mean, you can see the NBA kind of like leaning towards him, and they're saying he's the reincarnation of Michael Jordan. I mean, you look at it, you're like, yo, this is crazy.
Yeah, that's a crazy comparison, and I don't like when I don't like
it either.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. I really don't like when people do that, because it's like a lose-lose.
Yeah.
Because you kind of can't live up to that Mike status.
You can't.
Like, because if you're being compared to him and you don't go 6-0 in the championships, and you don't win 6 MVPs, regular season and finals MVPs, then they're gonna say, and you only won 5, they're gonna say, oh, you didn't live up to that hype. And it's like, well, I just won 5 chips, like just because I didn't win one more. So I don't like I said with the girls and boys, let people just
let them live,
let them develop how they develop, and let them develop into what they're going to develop into, and just the comparison thing is I really don't like it. I really don't like it. We could always say who,
I really don't like it.
Yeah, I really don't like it.
Hey, but like this video though.
Yeah, please. And in the comments, hey, let us know who's the league MVP this year.
That's a great question.
Is it Ant? Is it Jokic? Is it Shea? Is it Jason Tatum? So let us know, man, what you guys think.
I'll say Giannis, man.
And also, hey, let us know if Caitlyn Clark is the greatest college hooper of all time, men's or women's. I'ma say no. But yeah, man. I think that's where we gonna end it at right there, man. And man, appreciate Miguel. Appreciate you coming out, riding with me, man.
Man, I wanted to ask you a question real quick.
Yes, sir.
Dead or alive, who would you have a conversation with?
Dead or alive?
Yeah, who would you want to have a conversation with? Jesus Christ.
Outside of him, so 3. Give me three people, dead or alive.
Me or you?
Yeah, me. I'll do 3. I'll name 3. So Jesus Christ.
Okay, for sure.
But
you can talk to him
Yeah, but I want that face to face.
You want to break bread?
I got questions.
You want to break bread? Huh?
Yeah, I got questions. He's like, I don't need to answer you, boy. You're right. You're totally right. So maybe I wouldn't, because he don't need to answer me. So he'd probably just sit there and laugh at me with all these questions. I ain't answering you. So I'm gonna give you 3 others.
All right, 3 others.
All right, so
that's a given. Jesus, you,
Jesus.
everybody gonna say Jesus.
Yeah. So, you go. Let me think. Let me think.
I would say Kobe. I'll say Jay-Z. And I'll say Michael Jordan. Now, but it's interesting because I work with Kobe, and I actually had to have I was able to have a conversation with Kobe. I can tell y'all about that. It was amazing. There was still, I was young. There was like right now, I think at this level, stage in my life, I would probably ask different questions. Jay-Z, I got to meet him, I got to talk to him, but we didn't really get to have a deep conversation. And I would say Jordan, I never met Jordan, not that I know of. But just even being as a basketball player and him influencing my life and influencing so many people's life, there's certain things I would want to ask him. You know, but I like to read books on people that worked or had conversations with Jordan. A good book you guys should read is Relentless by Tim Grover. Powerful book, which you feel like you're actually pulling from Jordan. But yeah, Jordan I think is the only one. Those three, but Jordan, I would want to meet and have that conversation.
Yeah. You know what? I think I would. I think if I could do it, if I could have done it at a younger age, like before, even before high school, Kobe, Cole, just the knowledge and again, this is all kind of weighing on the fact that he's being totally honest and open with me. You know, about, because I would want to know, hey, how do you deal with nerves? How do you deal with a lack of confidence?
Right.
Mentally. How do you get through that?
Right.
Work ethic questions, but mainly mentally, because I think as a young kid, I had the work ethic.
Right.
But mentally, if I could have learned at a younger age what I know now,
that Mamba mentality, and understanding, like I said, how to get through, how to get through yourself. Right.
You know what I mean? And the doubt, how to get through the doubt, how to fight through that doubt mentally. So Cole, I would probably want to sit down with. I'd probably want to sit down.
Caitlyn Jenner. Let's do wild.
No, Diddy. Okay, either or, Malcolm X or Martin Luther King Jr. Or bump it. That would be my next two, because they were very different.
Yeah, very different.
They were similar, but they were different in approach.
Yeah.
You know, they had the same goal, but their approach was different.
Right.
So I would want to, and I like both of their approaches at times. Right. You know, I like Martin Luther King Jr.'s kind of non-aggressive and more so that type of approach. Right. But then I like Malcolm X's, hey, let's get this thing done by any means necessary type of thing. So I think those would be my other two, because I would like to compare and contrast their differences and their similarities. So I think that would probably be my three.
It's tight.
Yeah, I think that would probably be my three.
I got a question for you. If you could take basketball, there's a country that you want to see basketball played at more or played at, where would it be? If I said it right.
A country that I would like to see it played more,
or you would want it to even exist. You see it, that country has potential.
I think probably the right answer would probably be Africa.
They practice some crazy hoopers, right?
Yeah, I think the athleticism is probably
Right.
already there.
Right.
Now, and I think the NBA is doing a pretty decent job about bringing, basketball without borders. And they even have a league out there called NBA Africa, I think.
Didn't J. Cole play in it, right?
J. Cole played it.
Yeah.
Dwayne Wade's son. Zaire Wade. He played it. Not that. But
Magic Johnson's son played it.
nah, he ain't played.
You gotta cut that part.
Nah, he ain't played it. But yeah, I think Africa would probably be the right answer for that.
Right.
I believe they already have the physical ability. Now it's just bringing over the actual knowledge and IQ of the game to them and sharing that with them. But I think, yeah, probably Africa.
All right, this is my last question for Ivan, right? If Jesus was a hooper, what position would he play?
Point.
He played the point?
Easy, yeah. He's the leader on the court. He's calling shots. He's taking shots. He's the coach. He's the floor general. He's manipulating the defense and the offense.
Jesus, why he said Jesus manipulating?
Yeah, man. Like he's doing all that, man. Yeah. No, for sure.
Do you think he have a jump shot?
He have everything. He have everything.
It was crazy just picturing Jesus hooping though.
He doesn't even need 4 other guys out there with him. It's just him. And he's passing to himself. He's omnipresent. You know?
Oh man.
Yeah, man. But that's where we go. That's where we gonna end it, man.
Hey man. Take care,
Miguel, man.
I
appreciate you,
brother.
Hey,
God bless you guys.
any last words for the people,
Hey
man?
if you're watching this, man, just continue to tune in. This is a journey that's forever with Ive. Great basketball mind. His IQ is on another level. If you hoop with him, I'm telling you, a lot of y'all will be scared to guard him. But I definitely want to say, continue to focus on your purpose and understand this, that your purpose will distract you from your distractions. Love you guys. Take care.
Hey,
You come back.
Hey, again, man, appreciate it. Hey, please do me a favor, like, comment, share, subscribe, hit all the notifications, stay up to date with my latest content. Again, that's Miguel. I'm Ivan. Y'all been on the drive with Ive. Y'all be easy and catch me somewhere on traffic.